Hey there, and welcome to episode 20 of the Tyrannosaurus Anton blog. That's right, this is the actual episode 20. I know last week I said that it was episode 20, but last week it was only episode 19. So we've learned something important today. I can't count, because I'm a dinosaur. Dinosaurs don't go to school, they don't learn their numbers. So for all you kids in school, stay in school, because it's obviously important. Secondly, it's the middle of the week, and there's an update now? Why is that? I thought you said there was going to be one on Sunday. Well, the story goes, Saturday night, some friends and I were downtown. I had a little bit too much fun. I didn't get home till 6:30 in the morning, and Sunday I was way too hungover to do anything. I literally slept all day. So that's why there was no update on Sunday, and then I was working. So here we are, Wednesday evening, and here's an update for all of you. So last week I was talking about the video game Catherine. I'm still playing the game, and I'm still loving this game. I honestly can't even stop playing this game. I finished the game twice already. I've gotten 2 different endings. The first ending, I wasn't too happy with it. I was like, this is really boring. This is not a great ending. Second ending, though, was hilarious and awesome. So for all you guys playing, I definitely recommend going for the true cheater ending, is what it's called, because it's hilarious and amazing. So what do I love about this game? Just about everything. Oh, hold on. Before I go any further, just need to let you all know there's going to be a ton of spoilers about this right now. So if you haven't finished the game, just skip through this part, mute it, watch an episode of Adventure Time, just do something to distract yourself. So here we go. So Catherine, as I was saying last week, story about 32-year-old Vincent Brooks. In a relationship with his longtime girlfriend, Catherine, spelled with a K, who will now be referred to as K throughout the rest of this video. One night he's at the bar, and he has a tryst with a younger woman named Catherine, spelled with a C, who will now be referred to as C through the rest of this video. Anyway, as it goes on, he starts having these crazy nightmares, really messed up stuff. During the nightmares, he's climbing this impossibly tall tower, sliding out blocks to build stairways up. That's the puzzle-solving aspect of the game, and that is a ton of fun, and it's actually really addictive. Honestly, that was like the best thing ever, and it still is the best thing ever. I'm still playing through all the puzzles, doing them again and again and again, trying to find different ways to get through it quicker, and it's a lot of fun. Honestly, I'm having dreams that I'm sliding blocks around to build staircases. It's fantastic. So in addition to that part of the game, Vincent chills out at a bar called the Stray Sheep with all of his old high school buddies, Orlando, Toby, and Johnny. So this, is the other aspect of the game. This is the relationship management part, I guess, but it's not really that. It's more like these social links in Persona 3 or Persona 4 if you ever played those games. Basically, you talk to your buddies, they'll tell you about their problems, but you can also talk to other people, other patrons of the bar, and they'll tell you about their problems. And the crazy thing is, most of these guys you'll also be running into during your dream sequences, and you can help them out with their problems there. And that was one of my favorite parts of the game as well, just helping these guys out, trying to help them work through their issues. So it's really important to talk to the people in the bar. It's really important to talk to the people in your dreams, because you learn a lot about them, and I don't know, it's just cool. It's interesting to learn all these different stories, all these different things about these guys, like Todd and Archie, Justin, the reporter, or Morgan, the police officer, the whole story with him and his wife, who was killed. It's really sad, and it's also really touching, but it was really cool. So I really like that. The game is great. I definitely recommend playing through it a couple of times because there are different endings. If you want to just go through and play the game once, that's fine. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. I do think the game is more rewarding, though, the more you play it. And that's very rare in games these days. And I think that's why this game has been so successful. So successful, in fact, that Index Holdings, Atlus's parent company, has announced that there are plans to make Catherine its own franchise. Something like the Persona series or the Digital Devil Saga. All part of, these Atlus titles. They got their own kind of series. So there's possible we'll see a follow-up to this game, or possibly, another game similar, along these lines. So I think that's really cool. Definitely some of the endings to the game, I believe, will leave it open for a continuation. So I'm not really sure what the true ending is going to be for the game, but there's several endings. So I'm going to keep playing through it. I'm going to try and get more. Maybe I'll tell you about them next week, maybe I won't. But if you haven't picked the game up, then it's Catherine. Buy it. It's amazing. Too much fun. I'm loving it. Anyway, moving on. I'd like to talk about Toradora. I mentioned this in one of my previous blog entries. This is the 2nd volume of the manga. It came out recently in North America. Of course, this is based on a popular novel, light novel series in Japan. It's been made into an anime, which is great. The manga follows the light novels much more closely rather than the anime, and it's really cool. There's definitely some different stuff in there. So if you've already seen the anime, read the manga. It's awesome. There's new little segments of story. I think it kind of goes a little more in-depth into the characters, you know, what their internal feelings are. It definitely focuses more on Takasu, Ryuji, or whatever. Anyways, but I think it's really interesting. I think it's really good. Really, really cute. But yeah, if you like that sort of thing, pick it up. I recommend it. Also, what I've been doing the past few weeks through my blogs, I've been going through my collection, obviously, talking about older stuff maybe you haven't heard. This week we're on E in the alphabet, so Explosions in the Sky. I absolutely have to mention this album. I couldn't not mention this album. And it isn't because this is the only CD in my collection that has a band that starts with the letter E, which it is, but honestly, this is an important album. This was their first album. I believe this is actually a reissue of their first album. Technically, I guess their first album would actually be the Friday Night Lights soundtrack. If you've ever seen that movie, it's a football movie. It's pretty good, but they did the soundtrack for that. After that, they released this album, which is basically the soundtrack for that movie. But it's fantastic. The reason why this is important, though, is that this is a band of a bunch of guys, and it's strictly instrumental. There is no lyrics. There's no singing on this. And I think in, you know, a day and age where lyrics and all that is really important in songs, I think it's really important too to have music that stands alone as music. It's absolutely phenomenal. They had a new album that just came out recently. I definitely recommend checking it out. But that's their first one, and it's a fantastic album. I love it. So yeah, if you like, you know, kind of instrumental rock stuff, that's definitely a must. Moving on, finally this week, got to talk about the newest episode of Adventure Time, Too Young. And it was too cute. Oh man, seriously, this has been like the, I guess, most heartwarming episode of Adventure Time, I guess I would say. I don't know, it was a really, really touching episode. It was really, really sweet. It was cool to, you know, see PB, Princess Bubblegum, at 13 years old. I would have actually liked to see her, you know, stay that age for a little bit longer in the series, but I gotta say, 18-year-old PB definitely has attitude, and she's hilarious and awesome. Also, the Earl of Lemongrab is probably my new favorite character. He's hilarious. The whole, like, 3 months dungeon carrying on was fantastic. The episode before that, from a couple of weeks ago, was Hitman, which was also really funny. It was good to see the Ice King back in another episode. And man, the guy is a jerk, but it's hilarious to see him do his thing. And I love that he pays absolutely no attention to what, you know, Finn and Jake ever tell him, and just does his own thing. So yeah, there will be a new episode on Monday on Cartoon Network at 8/7 Central, of course. So definitely check it out. That's all I have for this week. Also, just got to show off my sweet Hawaiian shirt here. It makes me feel like I'm on a tropical island. And that's all I have for this week. So have a great rest of the week. I'll probably be back this weekend with an update, hopefully on Sunday. Hopefully I won't have too much fun Saturday night and we'll miss it. So take care. See you next week.